A shift is happening in Alabama. The data prove it. The high school graduation rates are at an all-time high. But the mark of the graduate's readiness, the college and career readiness rate, is lagging behind in too many schools. Many school systems are totally committed to closing that gap, and we're proud to highlight them in our BEA Leadership Matters report. They can be a model for others and a blueprint for success. The Business Education Alliance of Alabama, BEA, has concluded a thorough research report and has come to the strong conclusion that state education is improving, but it must improve more and at a faster rate. However, one question remains: how will leaders at all levels respond?
Leadership plays a very critical role because for us, leadership means direction. And so for all components of our school system, we have to have people at the helm and in important positions, setting the course and setting direction, not only for our teachers, but for our students, for our families, for all of our stakeholders. And so when that's done well, you see the evidence of that direction every day, and you see resources pulled in to support that mission of going in that common direction.
Clear direction is not only needed, but necessary in our school systems. Our teachers, school boards, and communities must be ready to heed the call in creating a strong sense of direction for our schools. The Alabama Workforce Council has set a goal of adding more than 500,000 skilled employees to Alabama's workforce by 2025. In order to reach that goal, we'll need to replace fixed mindsets with a can-do spirit.
We've got a great challenge ahead for our state, and it will require leadership to solve that issue. And it can be done with business, education, civic groups, 2- and 4-year colleges, workforce investment councils at the local level, chambers of commerce working together. We can make that happen.
The world around us is changing, and our schools need to follow suit. Now is the time to innovate. Now is the time to break down barriers. When old habits are broken and challenged, progress occurs. We've seen countless schools reverse the top-down structure, placing students at the foundation of forward movement.
Probably the leading example is West Alabama. What's going on in the Tuscaloosa County, Tuscaloosa City, and greater West Alabama area serving those 9 counties is really a model for the state and the nation, where the education community, the business community, the civic community, all of the entities come together, identify the problem, pose a solution, and work toward the completion of that. And the results speak for themselves. They've got young people that were headed for dropping out of high school who now hold $40,000 and $50,000 a year jobs.
The local business community is critical to the success of any school system. They help policymakers and board members and principals and superintendents formulate the needs of the local community. And so it's critical for any school system, any city, any state to have a buy-in from your local and statewide business leaders along with board members and superintendents and principals. So I can't overemphasize enough the importance of the local business community in getting engaged in their school districts.
Our state leadership has understood and figured out that the automotive industry, is here to stay and is a powerful industry in this area. With that growth, there's been a whole new industry that's been grown and established here in the state of Alabama, and it's employing tens of thousands of people and having an indirect impact of another tens and thousands of people. With that, state leaders have now understood, hey, we've got to invest in this. It is a people business. It's a great driver for economic growth. And if we make sure that we got the right people coming through the different systems and educational institutions to work in these areas, then we're going to have a great industry going forward in the future.
Leadership is the key to transforming education and workforce development in our state. And with everything that's going on with the growth in the industry, with the new companies that are coming into our state, it's important that we not only begin to look at what everybody else does across the country, but actually be a leader in what's happening in our nation in workforce and education.
We have the statistics and we've crunched the numbers. We know where we stand in comparison to neighboring states and regions of similar economies. Now is the time to take that data and make some decisions. Now is the time to take action and make data-driven decisions for the betterment of our children's education. Successes should be celebrated and shortcomings addressed. By systematically tracking state education performance and publicly sharing the realities of where we are, we can start a meaningful dialogue in our communities. Alabama can educate 500,000 high school and 2- and 4-year college graduates to meet our state's workforce needs by 2025. But it will take leaders.
If you don't have the right leaders in place, none of this happens. You have to have leaders that have vision and that are willing to step outside the box to see multiple opportunities for students. If you don't have that in place, you're just going to tread water.
If we didn't have the dialogue, if we didn't have the face-to-face, if we didn't have the interaction between education and business, we would never make our goal. But we do have that, and that's our goal of the Business Education Alliance, and I think that's what the Leadership Matters report really highlights, is that when we get those together, we can move it in the right direction.
Alabama needs an actionable plan right now that will help our students be ready to meet the future. Will you be a leader and a team member to build this plan?